So you've got the driver style is the one that's the more tele-assertive side who tend to control. So stereotypes can be helpful here as long as you remember they're stereotypes. This doesn't mean everyone in the driver box is the same. You know, for example, my natural is very much down here. You know, I'm very on the tele-assertive end, but I'm not that far into control, whereas somebody else might be very far into the control side, not so tele-assertive. So there's variations within that, but the stereotype of a driver would be like a CEO, somebody who's fast-paced, they want results, they want it soon. Drivers really want, let's start doing something now, let's take action. Then you've got the expressive style. The stereotype for the expressive, they're much more expressive, as the name suggests. That would be somebody who was like a stage speaker, somebody's more charismatic. You know, in a corporate environment, they might work in sales, that sort of thing. They're still quite direct and tele-assertive, but they're more emotive, they're more emotionally expressive, they don't hide their emotions as well. The amiable style also does that. They tend to express their emotions more freely, but they're more ask-assertive. So they tend to be a little bit slower paced. They'll tend to, you know, hold things back a little bit there. The stereotype for that would be like a counsellor or somebody who works in HR, that sort of thing. They're very good one-on-one listeners. They're a very good, you know, friendly ear. And then you've got the analytical style who are ask-assertive like the amiables, but they're more controlling the emotion like the drivers do. So the analytical stereotype, again, being careful of that, would be like a technician, like a scientist. They tend to be more detail driven.
Right.
So whereas the driver wants
John?
So John was very much in the expressive side there.
Yep.
So bottom right, he was quite tele-assertive, he was quite talkative, he was happy to share sort of things that were going, was telling a few jokes. You tend to get that from the expressive styles. The expressive style person, they want to feel like they're significant. They want to feel like, you know, people are paying attention to them. And they want to feel that, you know, they're respected and that the people will, I've gone lost in the word there a little bit, but basically they like to know that, you know, people think well of them. Their reputation is quite important to them as well. Right. So they're quite good at telling jokes. They're quite good at, you know, usually the life and soul of the party. Whereas Susie, I would say, was more the analytical. So a little bit slower pace, more ask-assertive, wasn't quite as expressive in the face. You know, her tone was a bit more measured, her facial expressions were a bit more measured. Gestures were fewer, hands were in her lap more. So the analytical person is somebody who they want to get it right the first time. You know, the stereotype is they can be a little bit of a perfectionist. They'll tend to want to get all the information first. As a patient, this is somebody who tends to pepper you with questions and then wants a bit of time to think about it. So if I had a treatment plan with Susie, I might share it with her, invite her to ask any questions, and then if she seems a bit unsure, I would say, if you want to take some time to think about it, we can chat about this next time. Yeah. Whereas with John, the expressive, I tend to be more into, this is what I'd recommend, this is what we can do, we can get started right away if you'd like to, because the expressives tend to like novelty more.